why this thing have gone on change. But there are those who have punctured your argument, Senator Oshiomole, to say, look, if you are talking about the federal government of Nigeria going after South African business interests in Nigeria, that may be fault. For example, the MTN is listed on the stock exchange.
Yes.
The chairman and members of the board are of Nigerian descent. They are Nigerians. There are Nigerian shares on MTN. If you talk about MultiChoice, for example, MultiChoice is largely owned by Canal France, which is directly a French company. And there are those who will say, maybe that's not the right way to look at it. You cannot punish corporate-private interests because of the failure of a government or a public interest.
No, you got it wrong. First, let's be very, very clear. I talk about categories of citizens. All over the world, you talk about citizens of countries. You also have corporate citizens. The ownership of the open ownership of DSTV may have been reworked in a way as to give it a French face. Or you might go deeper to find out whether in truth there is no longer South Africa content.
There are South African interest in it.
Okay.
But the point I'm making,
wait,
so that we don't mix things up.
That interest is one.
Some of these companies you make, so that we don't confuse our audience. Some of the companies you mentioned, they are not owned by South African state. They are owned by private corporate interest.
Yes.
And that's the point.
I didn't say corporate. Now, these Nigerians who are being killed in South Africa, whose shops have been looted, is anybody arguing that they are Nigerian-owned businesses? They are not Nigerian government-owned businesses. They are owned by Nigerian citizens. Exactly the same way as South African citizens have interest in those companies in varying degrees. That is the point. If you impose economic sanction, but what I do not advocate, we should behave as a more civilized people. We shouldn't kill, we shouldn't maim, we shouldn't burn, but we follow the law. The law allows us to take over. There's a hostile takeover, there's a friendly takeover. So if MTN is quoted, very good. That portion that is still held by South African citizens, that portion should be taken and managed by Nigerians. And I saw Rufai today laboring in a very poor manner that Nigerians can't manage, which is indicting himself, not our nation, as far as I'm concerned. He was talking about Etisala, that had not succeeded. I said, how can you be such a poor liar, Rufai, that you don't remember that Glo is owned by a Nigerian, Mr. Adenuga? He's alive and well. How can you not know that Airtel has sufficient Nigeria content and is doing well? Why are you suggesting that Nigerians cannot hold a GSM company? Because he's so self-opinionated, so paranoid that he lied lavishly and he lied confidently.
But this is not a reporting. This is not a reporting platform.
We're here to. Let me speak to the point. The other point you made.
Yeah, and I'm saying that is the past government not be complicit?